Beyond Synth 374.
You're listening to Beyond Synth Radio. Let's do this.
Up next, Andy Last has fun chats with awesome synthwave artists. It's time for Beyond Synth.
Hey there, how's it going? This is Beyond Synth. I hope you're having a lovely day. I apologize if you can hear crickets, but it is so hot today that it is actually unbearable in my studio, and I want to get this episode out. So I'm like, oh, I gotta record the intro and the outro, and I had to open a window. Today is like probably hotter than any day we had in August, and it was the first day of school for my kids, and Starfield comes out tomorrow. Technically, when this episode posts, it'll already have been out. And I'll be setting up my Twitch stream, so I'm going to Twitch from moment one of playing Starfield. So if you want to go to the Beyond Synth Twitch page, I'm going to be doing that. Anyways, today on the show, I am chatting with Yatte. Yatte is a cool guy, and besides making awesome music, you would recognize him from a lot of the voices he's done on some of the fake commercials here at Beyond Synth Radio. And yeah, he's a funny guy. He just gets it. So whenever I ask him to send me over a funny voiceover, he just gets it, and that's always nice when people get it. So look, it's so hot, I don't even want to be recording anymore. I just have to say one thing today, a very special thank you to Jonathan Harden, who upgraded his support. Thank you, Jonathan Harden, for being a cool guy, and if you want to support the show like Jonathan, you can go to patreon.com/BeyondSynth or go to BeyondSynth.com and click on the PayPal button. I just realized the guy who built my website, I feel like he works at Burning Man every year. Mike, I hope you're alright. Not that... I don't even know if he listens to the show anymore, but anyway, Mike's a cool guy. Mike Rezel, I hope you're doing alright, dude. You know what, maybe I'll just email you instead of talking into this on the off chance that you might hear it in like 2 years' time. Okay, look, let's listen to a Yatte track and then we will go chat with Yatte. So I want to listen to this track because it's good stuff, and when the song's over, we will be chatting with Yatte. So this is Yatte with Candle.
To everyone waiting, there will be enough
right, well, I am here right now with Yatte. How's it going, man?
Good. It's just Alex works, man. You know what? We talked about this. It's just Alex, man. You know, I'm changing the name from Yatte to just Alex. I don't know. Hopefully that has a problem.
You better be lying.
Let's start this over. I've been trying to tell people for years, Yatte is the thing. I'm the captain.
All right, so just to be clear, you make music.
Yeah.
And if you go to Yatte on Bandcamp, you will find the music you make, but you don't want me to say the word Yatte ever again. Is that correct?
No, that's fine. That's just not my name. That's not my name. I'm like the captain of it because there's so many. What I was trying to say was there's maybe 40 people at this point are playing instruments in all the songs I've ever had. Not for every song. Or not all the songs, but there's a lot of friends in all of those things, and I can't really just call it Yatte is me because it's like it's kind of like Gorillaz, like you know that's not just him, but there's a lot of people you're not sure who they are and stuff.
You might be the first guest in like 10 years who is so humble that he will refuse to be named by his artist name.
I'm not even trying to be humble. I'm just trying to...
Because there's so many people. Like, think about it, because I've talked to so many people who have all these like crazy collaborative things, or they have an album, but technically they're an instrumentalist, and like every track features a different singer.
Yeah.
But then they're still fine if I call them the thing that they're called.
I'll just say this. I do 80 to 90% of the work, and then lots of people show up.
All right, so let's call you 90% Yatte.
87 and a half.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, look, your name is Alex.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's not as fun, I get it, but...
No, see, I start every show by announcing, like, this is the artist that's here, and so I like to say the name of the project before I get into getting too personal. It'd be really weird if it's like, all right, and we're here with Alex, and then we never actually say what Alex is.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we're going to listen to songs by Yatte for some reason.
It just happens to be this is the episode.
So listen, man, Alex Chod, is that correct?
Yeah, that's the full...
What is the etymology of that last name? Where does that come from?
It's like when your family goes to wherever you're from and they go to America and it's 1910 or whatever, and they're at Ellis Island or whatever, and they're like, what's your name? And you're just like, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, all right, those first couple letters work, and they like chopped off the rest. That's what we think, but we're not actually sure with my family. But it's definitely Polish or something around there.
Oh, is it like a Chodorowski or something?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Okay.
But yeah, we don't know. It looks like Chod, and it's kind of annoying, but whatever. Everyone's thinking about it, but I don't mind.
Well, that's true, because for a project which hasn't actually aired yet, I paid an artist to do the trailer voice, and I did make a note because they say your name in it, and I'm like, all right, pronounced like Rod or God or
Rod. I should have just told you to do Yatte, just so people would just like, what is that? I should listen to that, and that would have been smart.
Yeah, so I'll just set the stage here, just so the audience understands. So obviously, Yatte, you make really good music. I guess we'll get into like the genre of what you do or whatever, because it is that retro theme stuff, but it definitely has like a different vibe to a lot of the music that I play on the show. But it's very well produced and stuff. And you're also a fun and silly guy who has helped me out by recording some funny voiceovers for some of the fake commercials. I think the favorite was Goose Goose.
Oh yeah.
People like the Goose Goose.
I saw someone really liked when I said I'm so fucking tired, man. Like I'm so tired. Like,
from the Cactus Hawking episode. Yeah, that's been a fun one. I've gotten mixed reviews on that episode. Again, this is the tough part about listening to audience feedback.
Yeah,
because I like to do weird things because that's what keeps me interested, right? I've done this show for like over 10 years now, and every few seasons I sort of reboot it. It's still essentially an interview show with synthwave artists, but every few years I sort of change things up a bit to reinvigorate myself. Mm-hmm. I do that because I have to do that or else I get bored. So I like to do fun, silly things. But since my sense of humor is just weird and I like to do weird things sometimes, I can't rely on like audience feedback necessarily, because I literally get just polar. Anyone who bothers to leave a comment is either like that Cactus Hawking one I did. It was either like, man, I love this episode. Man, this episode's wild. This one's great. And then this episode was terrible. And like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that feedback, because I'm like, all right, so either people like it a lot or hate it. Like, what should I do next?
Guess I'll keep going.
I tend to do things with those sorts of reactions, and then I never know what to fucking do with it.
When I listen to your show, it's just like, there's some funny stuff and there's some songs. Why would you say it's good or bad? Like, if you don't want to listen to it, don't listen to it. But I don't understand why this particular thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a commenter in general, so I don't know. It's weird. It's like, I like receiving nice compliments, so like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if someone says a comment, it's just like, hey man, good stuff, I'm like, hey, that makes me feel good. And when they say, hey, this sucks, I'm like, hey, fuck you, but...
Yeah, but what could actually suck from your thing where people would want to talk about it? Because it's like, yo, there's some funny shit and there's some songs. Like, why, like, just do something else if you didn't like a bunch of songs and some talking for a second.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. I mean, some people like to just say what they're feeling.
Fair enough.
Like, I guess.
I'm just curious.
I've never been a person who leaves comments, and I watch lots of things. And if I like it, I'll giggle. I just saw the weirdest person okay, so I hate TikTok. But the other day I just like, fuck it. I turned it on just to scroll through. And it's this lady who is digging a tunnel under her house. I guess it's to be a storm shelter, but it also seems like it's just a collection of videos where it's just like, let's build a tunnel as a project.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because she's so serious about it. And there's like fucking dump trucks that like collect the fucking debris. And she has this strange way of speaking as well. And I just got fascinated. And I'm laughing my ass off at these videos. And they're not they're not comedy videos. It's just the fact that she's so serious about digging a tunnel is such a bizarre, just like, and then I hooked up this hose so that I could run it on a track to take the debris outside and put it out the window into this bin. It just makes me laugh so hard, but I don't even hit the heart button. Like, I do so little when I watch other people's things, especially when they're already popular anyways. I feel like I hit the heart button for a lot of stuff in the synthwave scene to give support or whatever, but like when I see something that's like, they've got like fucking like hundreds of thousands of followers and like, do I need to be heart number 12,000 or whatever? Anyway, look, fuck it. Listen, let's listen to some music and then we'll keep talking because I'd like to find out the musical journey of Alex, which is what this show is about. We're going to go back in time here. We're going to go through, I picked a few tracks from each of your releases. So we're going back to Shadow Work in April of 2020. And this is actually my favorite song of yours because I like this one a lot. I mean, I like them all. They're good, but I always love this one. It's called Fracture, and we're going to listen to that right now, man. This is Fracture by Yatte.
If there's a fracture in your heart, gonna tear it open all the way, 'cause it's a painful place to start, and the fight to go another day, 'cause times are rough, you're not big enough, love has gone away. Don't act tough, release your luck, let it come out of the way.
And that was Fracture by Yatte. And I'm here right now with the man behind Yatte, Alex Chod. Let's learn a bit about Alex. What's your deal, man?
I don't know. Wait, that's
Too vague?
How do you even do that one? What do you want to know? What's your fucking deal, man?
Why'd you fucking say that, bro?
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened, but I'm so sorry. You and everyone, I don't know what my deal is.
When did you start making music? How about that?
I mean, like, as a kid, I don't know. And when did everyone start making? They have like the little thing at their house and their parents were mad and you did some stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess I made my first recording thing where it's like, there was this program called something DJ. Like, let's see, this would be around like 1998. And it was this, let me think about this in real life. Hold on. Pause.
Cakewalk.
No, that's still here. No, it's called.
Do you want me to ask ChatGPT?
No, Techno DJ, I think is what it was called. It was on like Windows. What's the one before X?
Wasn't it just Windows 98, wasn't it? Was 98 before XP?
98. I think I had that.
Or was there Windows 2000?
There was, but no one liked it.
Yeah, I feel like I skipped. I feel like I went straight from 98 to XP, I think.
Vista, which also.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was like a CD or whatever programs, and it looks a lot like Logic, but like for little kids.
Okay.
And it gives you all the sounds, and it's like, and you throw it up there, and then there's like a voice that's like, Techno EJ. And then it's like bass.
That's my favorite. Okay, I'll tell you my two favorites. And the one I finally found, which was in, I think, Fruity Loops like version 2 or something.
Yeah.
So I love bass. That's one of my faves, just the fucking bass.
Yeah.
And there was one that I had to track down because it made me laugh at the time. Whenever I would sing it to people, they'd be like, which one's that? And it was, wooga 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 big bag, a big bag, a wooga 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 big bag. And like, it literally was on a keyboard at one time. That was one of the buttons in the voice samples. And I found it. It was, I think, in Fruity Loops version 2 or whatever. Just big bag. I just remember like, big bag? Like, what the fuck? Because all the rest of them were just like dance, bass, woo, and stuff like that. Anyway.
Man.
When did Fruity Loops come out? Because I used version 2. And by that, I mean I used the shareware version.
Yeah.
Because I didn't actually ever pay for that program until like 20 years later or something.
Yeah. Oh, now it's called something cool. But I have no idea, actually.
Yeah, it's FL Studio, man. They got sued by the breakfast. The breakfast cereal is just like, hey, man.
Oh, really? That's why? Oh, I thought they were trying to make it cool, but they actually...
I don't think there would be a lawsuit, because like, is anyone literally that confused and like, I wanted to have cereal, but then I started making music? Like, the products are so different from each other.
It was awful.
Yeah.
My mother was very sad. But then I got another one called Acid Pro, like number 4 or something. And that's where you could actually like finally record your voice or whatever, your keyboard or whatever. And that was pretty awesome. So it's kind of like Ableton maybe, but for kids almost, like the same kind of thing I'm saying. But that was great. And then how do we make this less boring? And then I played a bunch of instruments and then I made some stuff and I kept going and now I'm old and I'm still doing it. So there it is.
So, but what was the kind of music you were making back then? Was it just dance music?
Yeah, but just because that's all you could really get on a CD. What do you call it? CD. Well, what's it called where it's like CD that has programs on it? Or is it still just CD?
It's still a CD, yeah.
No, I'm thinking of whatever. Anyway, let me go back to that a little bit.
I'm not editing any of this, by the way.
Oh, man.
So we're clear.
Oh,
this is
man.
the episode where it's like, what's that thing? It's like a CD, but it's like, it's got files on it.
It's like that's right. Oh, man. So dude, sometimes I think about the way you wrote some stuff for me to do funny stuff on. Whenever I see the way you write it, I don't know, I always think of you saying it when it's like, oh, man. But it's like, but... Like, I see your voice doing stuff because I've talked to you so many times now. When I just see you writing like, oh, man, I'm like, oh, man. So I think of your voice doing that.
That's right. Oh, yeah, you did the Cheetos. We did like a Cheetos commercial thing, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you end up playing both the voices in that?
Yeah, I think so. And I made one. You made one of the voices go up high. So I don't know. It was kind of weird. That's right. Because
originally I was going to do one voice and you were going to do the other one. And then when I listened to back, I was just like, this is just fine the way it is.
Oh, man.
What?
These crackers fucking suck.
Well, no wonder. You got the no brand, you dumb asshole.
Hey, fuck you.
Hey, not my problem, not my money.
Well, what the hell am I supposed to do now?
Try these.
Holy shit! the fuck is this?
I'm a pretty easygoing guy. If people deliver me something that I'm like, that's funnier than what I would have done, it's just like, just use it. I don't care if it doesn't make sense. Like both the voices are the same.
Yeah, but you think you're going to be an asshole, but then you end up not being it, and you're like, oh, I guess I'm not being an asshole. Cool. Like, because you're like, I'm very picky, and then like I'll give you stuff, and like, oh yeah, that'll work.
I am very picky, but when people understand the project, then it's very easy.
You gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because there's some people, like when I'm on Fiverr, for example.
That's different.
I'll find people who I'm like, okay, this person has the voice caliber of the thing I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So I know they're physically capable of doing it. But if they're not a creative person, or they don't get the joke, or they don't get the reference, because there's some people who I paid where I'm just like, I can't even fucking use this. Like, you know, I'm like, it ends up too with Canadian dollars because there's like a conversion. So technically, like, it's called Fiverr, but really it's like $7.50 Canadian. And then like, now there's all these other fees they add on. So, because I know when it started, I would like do things, it would be like $5. Like, that's what it would be. And then some people, obviously people boost it and go like, oh, but for $20, I'll suck your dick and stuff. But like, now it's like, there's all these extra, it's the cost, but then it's like, oh, and then there's also like this additional fee, and then there's like $6 for fucking transfer or whatever, and so it ends up being like usually like $17 for even like, you know, like the cheap gigs.
Yeah, and then they still don't understand what the joke was.
Yeah, there's some people who I've like sent things to and just like, they just don't get it. So now it's like, I hate doing this because you hate like making people play to type or whatever, you know, like it's like, okay, they already have an example of this on their fucking portfolio.
Yeah.
I'll just just do the fucking voice you do already. Like, because that's what you kind of have to do with Fiverr, because whenever you ask people to sort of go outside their comfort zone, every experience I've had, it's been like, oh, that didn't work, you know. But then if you just hire them to do exactly what they do, just like, hey, you've got a really cool deep British voice, like just do that, you know. And then like, hey, that worked because
Pegi 18. That's the guy.
Pegi 18. I love that guy.
Pegi 16.
But just to clarify, like the stuff I'm talking about, the Beyond Synth audience hasn't heard. Like all the voice actors I've hired to do gigs for like the podcast were all the ones that I thought were really good. Like, you know, the guy who does the Beyond Synth radio bumpers, and the British actress who does like the show intros, and the British dude who has that awesome deep voice. Those people are all excellent. Like the stuff I'm complaining about, no one has heard because it didn't work. Speaking of Pegi 18, I was just watching some Mortal Kombat video game trailers.
What if it was like Penny 38?
I like how it's Penny 38. It's not even like, that joke doesn't even make sense.
Wait,
like,
what is it?
It's Pegi, because
Pegi,
P-E-G-I. Yeah.
Pegi.
Penny 38. What?
Sorry, I had a bad day.
I like the idea of a video game that's so specific that it has to be over the age of 38. Like, just like, what sort of content requires that? They just unveiled Sindel and Shao Kahn as playable characters in Mortal Kombat 1, which comes out in September 19th. That's literally what I watched as I was setting up to record with you.
That seems like the game I would buy, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, what else do I do? And it's like, oh, I just really kill the guy. And then what do I do? I would be mad that I bought this, even though I'm sure it's awesome. It's just not what I would do.
I learned this sort of later on in my life, is like, I love Mortal Kombat, which when I was younger, I thought that meant that I liked fighting games. So then I would always try out different ones and be like, oh, I'll try this Soul Calibur, and I'll try out fucking Tekken and these things. And they never quite grabbed me the same way. Mm-hmm. And it was only like when I was like in my 30s, and I was like, I think I just like Mortal Kombat. Like, I just like fucking ninjas with skulls for heads, and like that come from hell, and that there's robots and magical dimensions and stuff. Like, that is
cool.
It sounds like, you know, when people used to buy like fucking Playboy to read the articles, like I'd buy Mortal Kombat games to play the story. I don't play competitively online. I'm actually not good at them, but I always just play them just to see where the story goes, and that's like my experience with Mortal Kombat.
That's cool. That makes sense. The only time I've ever played this was at the skate place, straight up out of what's the thing with fucking 11?
Stranger Things.
Damn it, dude. Yes. Please don't put all that on there. Well, that one's fine. That's kind of funny.
Pegi 11.
At the skate rink or whatever. That's the year it was the last time I played that game. And I remember because I used it was like a character I'd never seen before called Smoke. And I guess that's on the third one.
Smoke.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, he was like a blue robot in the third one.
Oh, I thought he kind of was the same as everyone else, but it was black instead of.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I guess he's is he black? I think he's blue. Yes, you're correct. Smoke. He was like a robot in the third game, and there was a red robot and a yellow robot, and then there was Smoke, and he was in the center tile, and he had a spear that shot out of him. Yes.
Those are robots?
They're cyborgs.
Oh, okay.
They're converted ninjas from the Lin Kuei clan. See, Sub-Zero, Sub-Zero, he's in a feud with Scorpion, right? Because they're rival clans.
Yeah.
And at some point, this is why I love Mortal Kombat, because it's so goofy.
Yeah, tell me.
At some point, his ninja clan decided to cyber convert the ninjas in the clan. and then Sub-Zero, he left his ninja clan. So then they created these two characters, Cyrax and Sector, whose missions were to kill Sub-Zero because he took his mask off and he left the clan. And then Smoke is actually one of his former friend. He was friends with Smoke, but then Smoke got converted against his will, and then he got turned into a robot as well. That's why there's cyborg ninjas.
I love how this. I came here to be an interview. You asked me to do an interview.
Well, how about this? Let's listen to another song, and then we'll recenter on Yatte. So look, we're moving ahead here. We're moving forward in time to Sweet Shelter.
All right.
That's right. December 2020.
Nice.
I think I picked weird ones from this album. We'll see how you feel about it. I'd like to listen to the song Heartbeat, because I like that one. Is that a weird choice? Do you care?
No, I like that one.
All right, good.
You can have that. Yes.
All right, let's listen to it. This is Heartbeat by Yatte. And that was Yatte with the track Heartbeat. And it's a good chong is what I was about to say. It's a good chong. And I'm here with Alex.
It's a tune.
Yeah, it's a tune. And we're having a good time here. We're just, or I'm just talking about the Mortal Kombat story to someone who is not interested.
From the beginning.
This is the story of my life. It's just like, I've had to edit out just giant chunks of me when I edit this show because I'll be like, I'm a Doctor Who fan. And then I'll talk about Doctor Who for like 5 minutes. And I'm like, the audience doesn't want this. It's a fucking boner killer, that is.
But it's all right because I was totally like, I don't know. I did some stuff when I was a kid. And then it's like, I'll tell you everything about Mortal Kombat instead. So it was my fault.
No, that's okay. I don't do it because I'm bored. It's just that we were talking about Pegi 18 and then Mortal Kombat came up. Look, describe your sound.
So these are actually two interesting songs that you chose because, like you were saying, like it's not exactly what the rest of the songs usually are, but someone found me and decided that I'm synthwave. What do you call it? Adjacent, I guess. I didn't know that someone was going to hit me up and say that this is synthwave and people are going to love it or whatever. And it kind of worked and that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's not synthwave, but it is part of the same sort of ethos of people making that sort of music that conjures this time, except like with the synthwave people, like the diehard synthwave is a particular sound.
Right.
And this is another sound that not a lot of people are doing. And you do it really well. They're well-crafted songs, like the production's great. And it's definitely like a vibe that I don't hear a lot, but it is the same mission as synthwave.
Yeah.
It feels good. It feels like this was made in a different time just because of the instrumentation and the tunes and stuff. And yeah,
Yatte stuff. The whole thing, I guess, was like I started hearing lots of 80s stuff for like the last 15 years. Like, man. So I was alive for half of the 80s, and I was like, most people just were pretending they never liked the 80s and all this stuff. Like, this is a long time ago when people were like, that stuff was all too flashy or whatever. It's too much money. It's just too weird, too poppy. And then, like, I don't know, at some point, it was just like, that was actually pretty dope. So when I started making like songs kind of like that, where I like to make it feel like it was from a different time or whatever, it was just music was so bad. It's probably better now. I don't even check anymore, but like 15 years... 10, 11, 12 years, okay, Kesha, remember that name?
Okay, there's a particular type of pop music that was happening that drove me crazy. I mean, I've always loved music with like synths and things like this, but I like nice melodies as well. Like that's important to me, and like vocal harmonies and nice vocal lines and stuff. And so there was this point, and it was around, like Gwen Stefani's solo shit and fucking Fergie and all this crap where like
2005.
Yeah, where like the hooks of the songs were annoying.
Yeah.
And like that was the point. To get it in your head. So
I'm so cool, and I'm so cool.
Dude,
I'm so cool.
Music like that, I fucking can't stand.
But worse.
When the chorus is like, it's catchy because it fucking annoys you.
Yeah.
How about the chorus is, and it's just like, fuck you. Like, it actually makes me like actively like hate the artist.
Yeah.
You know the fucking Put a Ring on It, the Beyonce song?
Yeah.
That chorus is circus music. I can't unhear the circus, because the chorus is literally fucking and I just picture like a fucking merry-go-round like spinning in circles. It's baffling to me, but like people would fucking like it. I look around at everyone else like they're crazy. Like, do you not get that this song is fucking ridiculous? Like, it's just such a horrible chorus.
Yeah.
It baffles me. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, and a lot of my music was based on the beginning. Like, so I'm not really mad about stuff anymore, but like that kind of started where I'm like, wait a minute, we need this stuff again, because I'm listening to this stuff when I was a kid or before that. And even before that, I was like, wait, that was dope. And is anyone listening? Like, what's going on? Like, does anyone else not think this is weird and kind of like annoying as fuck? So I'm not like that anymore, but that was the beginning of my like wanting to like start making stuff the way I would like it to be or whatever. So I think, and a lot of people do that. I'm kind of like a mimic or whatever. Like when I do all the voices for your commercials and stuff, like that's like my thing that I'm good at in a weird way. And I like making music. So I'm like, why don't I just like mimic, but not make it funny? Like it's still like in my heart and shit. And I'm like, why don't I just use mimicking, and then like all this stuff I know how to do music and recording and mixing and all this stuff, and like make something out of that, and then make sure all my friends can come work on it too. And that's kind of where Yatte started in a way.
So where was the jump though? Because we're talking about like using techno DJ and like Acid Pro and stuff. So obviously there's something happened in between there and Yatte. So what was going on?
Yeah, a whole bunch of bands. One in high school. That was my first big band. Not big, but like an actual like being in a band. But we weren't big. We just did it at school. But
and what were they called?
Oh my God, Colorado Kind Band. That's me and my buddy Marty made this band with a couple homies. So this was back when Dave Matthews was like the thing. So we were doing like a jam kind of thing like that. Well, 90s was all about jamming. Oh, the song, it got really long. Ooh, everyone's drinking. We weren't, but we were trying to be like them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, everyone's drinking and smoking marijuana and like the songs get longer and everyone's like, woo. And so we were trying to do that kind of thing. And then after that, college, a couple of different kinds of bands. And then post-college, a couple other bands. And then here in Austin, a couple other bands. And then basically we got slightly old. So when you're in your 30s, you realize that some people, they think they have a lot of time to work on stuff, but just as far as like, oh shit, I got my kid is, all this stuff, or like, oh, my girlfriend is pissed at me and I get blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I was like, well, I need to make this to where like I'm like the boss of something. And then I really still want all my friends to come, we have so much fun. So whoever can do it, do you guys mind if I like take over this one of the bands we were in and just let me just call it a new thing, and which was called Wonder Bitch, by the way. And I was like, can I just go do this? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. We don't know how we're gonna do this anyway. And so I started doing that. Friends came, and yeah, that's Yatte. And then I just started realizing that I was doing the 80s thing. It was just happening, and I was like, wait, I'm getting better at whatever it is, so I'm just gonna keep going and see what happens. And then people on the internet started finding me a little bit, and you were one of those.
But then where does Yatte actually come from? So you're telling me you took over Wonder Bitch, but then at some point,
yes,
the stuff is Yatte on the internet.
No. So I took over I took over on the social stuff. That's why you see like a lot of followers, because this was like our homies over like 5 years, like having fans for that other thing. And I was like, all right, we're not going to do this band. So I like kind of snapped it and just called it Yatte. And then if you go down on the Instagram, like all the way down, you'll see like this has been going forever. Like the whole thing that became Yatte, but it just wasn't that at the time.
Wait, so you renamed it?
Yeah, because first of all, Facebook wouldn't let you do anything with bad words anymore, and that was, and I was like, fuck them, let's fight. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to fucking fight. Like I just want to make music. like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily like a fight, but it was just kind of like, what should we do? And I was like, why don't we just fucking do something else? And it's like, right. It's not that important. It was a silly name. It's very silly. We came up with it 10 years before that, or maybe like 8 years before that. And it was like, that was a joke. We made the name because it was kind of a joke. And then it was supposed to be like a party kind of vibe. And I don't know, years later, I was like, okay, people are going to get mad at us for some shit. Some of my bandmates were like, who cares? Fuck them. And I'm like, yeah, but also like, who cares? Like, let's just call it fucking something else and just go back to, I don't want to be in a war of some sort. I don't care. But then also we're all in another band. We were all in another band at that point where it's like, okay, well now we have to split between which band are we going to like have a show that week or whatever. Anyway, it was all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, yo, let me just call this band. And you guys, if you guys have time, come help me with some songs and stuff. And it started there. Time Wasted was the first song I did, just with 4 other people from the other bands are in the song as well. It came right off of that, and people seem to like that one.
Cool. Well, I'll tell you what I like.
Hot dogs.
There's another track on this album I dug called Ohayo.
Yeah.
I want to listen to that one. And it's spelt in a funny way, but I'm going to get you to explain to me why. But we'll listen to it first, all right? So this is Ohayo by Yatte.
I can dig the chill in the winter, but nothing makes the mountains sing like the summertime out here. Never lived outside the emotion, and nothing makes me scream like a party past its time of year. Oh,
And that was Yatte with the track Ohayo, which is spelt Ohayo for some reason.
Okay, this is a great example. So at the very beginning, when I'm like, no, I'm just Alex. I'm not Yatte. So this song was written by my buddy Paul Murry, who's on guitar. He wrote pretty much that whole song. There's only a couple songs like that where someone has written the whole song or whatever. But that's where it's like, I can't just call me is Yatte, but like Paul Murry wrote like 85% of that. But there's been 30 homies as part of this thing. But I'm just kind of like doing like a lot of the job. Man, it's going to be really hard to explain this every time though, right?
It's like a collective of goofs.
That was the idea, and hopefully it's still going in that way. And if someone thinks my name is like Yatte or whatever, and they're just like passing by, they're like, oh, what's up, Yatte? And they leave, and I'm like, okay, fine. But yeah, if I'm doing like an interview, at least I can explain it.
I get it. So the point is this. It's a collaborative effort that's been built off the artistic collaborations with many friends. You've switched from different bands along the way, but you've gathered a ragtag group of misfits who pop in, they come and go, they help out on some stuff, they write some stuff.
Yeah, that's about right. I don't know where it will go in the future, but like if it's working, like why mess it up like Star Wars or something?
Yeah.
Since the beginning, it started growing. Like one guy in India helped me with the song. Like he did guitar for me just because we met on Instagram. And he killed it, and it just got bigger and bigger. So I start telling people that it's like gorillas.
I understand you're that you want to acknowledge all the participants and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, sometimes there's some projects that don't exist unless there is this sort of key person that's like, all right, this thing will exist because I'm going to keep this thing going. And other people will pop in because they might only have the initiative to be like, hey man, I'll I'll do a guitar riff on this track or whatever, but they wouldn't have done it if you weren't like holding the fort to give them that place to do the thing.
No, that's it. I think about the Muppets, because he was the guy that was, later he died, but he was the thing that it wouldn't work if there wasn't just one person that was just like, what Muppets are is we do say it like that. So he's the one who can explain it. He can explain it the most.
There's a frog, see, and he sounds like this a lot. And
what's crazy?
Yeah.
Is like that was just Jim Henson's voice.
Yeah.
Kermit is just what he sounded like. It wasn't even really a voice. There's some behind the scenes things where he's like explaining stuff.
Yeah.
He just talks like Kermit.
I'd like to leave SNL. I really don't like the money. I really want to leave SNL. I think we're being fucked with the money is not good, and we're gonna make our own fucking movie about it. So what are you gonna do?
I think we're being fucked.
That's him. That's not the Muppet.
No, I get it. That's all that matters is that I get it. I don't even care about the audience understanding what's going on. As we've already established, the audience either loves this show or hates this show, so I don't feel like explaining anything to them.
But no, I thank you for saying that, because it's hard for me to explain how it works, but yes, thank you.
So then there's all these other people sort of coming in and doing little like adding things or whatever, but then you say this Paul dude like wrote that song.
Yep.
So what does that mean? Like what did you do on the track Ohayo? Like you still singing? Like
yeah, I'm singing, I'm producing, I'm mixing, and then I would play some of the stuff that he wrote. Yeah, basically producing, and then coming up with the sounds that it will be in the final, like which synths to do, what to do with his guitar. Do we want it to feel like that in the all that.
So it's just like I like the way you explain things.
There's a couple songs like that, but mostly I'm just being the boss, but not every song.
Does it offend you then that I picked that song? It's like fucking Paul wrote that one.
I know I all the songs you're picking is great, because you're literally picking the ones that people like at the bottom, like on my Spotify like things, or like when it tells you who's been listening to stuff, you're at the bottom, but I liked all those songs, so I like all of our songs, so I'm glad that you picked ones that you think are interesting. And I hope people, because a lot of people, when you listen to your stuff, they'll listen to probably usually 3 songs at the top, and then if they like even more, they'll go down to like 6. But if they kept going, on the list, it's like they'll be at the bottom to see things like this. So I'm glad that you're using it.
Yeah, like my policy, the way that I make this show is I do no research into the actual person or guest, but I will listen to all the music. So like so I don't have notes. Like when I go to record with people, my only notes are just the songs I liked and like the ones that I'm picking to play. And sometimes that does work out to be, hey, it turns out that guest's top 5 Spotify tracks are also the best 5 songs. But then sometimes when someone has a bunch of albums, it is interesting to me to find the ones that sort of stand out or are different or
Well, that's cool that you can sense that.
I think some artists have been like, oh, it's interesting songs you're picking, but at the same time, like, hey man, if you don't like your own fucking song, then don't put it on the album.
I can't stop. It's my manager.
Yeah. He whips me and says that I have to make more music. I want to move ahead here to an album called, what is this, Yecco, Emecco? How do you say this?
Yep, you nailed it.
What is this?
Wait, what?
What does that mean? Is this gibberish?
Hi,
or is this a thing?
what is this?
Yeah.
Dude, I have this joke about that with my friend where it's like you go to you go to Subway and you're like, hi, what is this? And then the guy goes like, wait, what? Is there something wrong? Did I do something wrong? And then you're like, no, it's fantastic. I just want to say thank you very much. It's like, oh, no problem. It's like, but what the fuck? So we have this joke where like you keep like psychopath, like you keep going between like happy and pissed off, like every sentence. It's like, no, what the fuck is it though, for real?
When's the last time you ate at Subway?
No, it's been 10 years. The last time I did it was I was on tour. I were driving away from town. We're like, oh, this will be like kind of healthy-ish before we do this trek. And somehow we're all like, we feel like shit for like 2 days. How does that happen? I know it's weird shit in there, but...
The pandemic kind of killed Subway for me. I used to eat there, not regularly, but I live in a small town and we have a Subway there. And it's like, I'll go and get a sandwich. And then around pandemic when I stopped going to a lot of places for like a period of time, for some reason, Subway felt the most contaminated of all the like when we started to go back to like restaurants and stuff, I'm just like, it's just got this open food thing. And so like I didn't eat there for like 3 years or something. And I ate there the other day and it's whatever. Subway. I don't know. Why am I saying this?
Yecco Emecco. What is that?
How about this? Let's listen to a song from it and then you can tell me about it.
Yeah.
So I want to listen to the song Touch from Yecco Emecco. So let's do it. And then we'll continue chatting with Yatte after we listen to this song from Yatte. This is Touch.
Touch.
That was Touch by Yatte from the album Yecco, Emecco. And we're here right now with Alex Chod, who...
And what the fuck was that?
Yeah, what's Yecco, Emecco? Tell me about it.
Okay, so that song was me and Paul, same guy from the last song, but this one was more of a double collab, I guess, together. And then he used to live in Austin. I live here as well. And he had a really boring job, so we would just text each other made up fucking words. And that's kind of how Yatte, the name, was invented as well. So whatever Yecco Emecco is, it's the same language of whatever the fuck Yatte is.
Because this was my always assumption about Yatte.
Yeah.
Was that it had something to do with yacht rock, right? Because it sounds like yacht.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, that was one of the words we used for the word latte. And so in our language, yatte was the word that would make us laugh for just like, why did you just call it that? It's like, I don't know, it's funny. And then I was like, wait, that could be a good band name because I'm doing like yacht type of stuff. I like yacht. I like lattes. It's also Japanese in a way. It's like half of a word. If anyone is from Japan, please tell me more. But I think it means go or like do, which I thought that was cool. That's kind of like go, like, and coffee and all my shit has a lot of like energy and shit. So I thought that was like, fuck it, let's do that. And also when we first thought of it, I thought that the word seems like it's a like Sony, like it was another company like that, or like there's another one kind of like that too, not Hyundai, but something like that, where it's like I feel like I've seen that name in different parts of my house and garage, and I don't know what they actually do, but they seem to do all of those things. And that's kind of part of another thing I was thinking about, like Yatte, when we picked that name.
A multinational electronics company.
Yes. What is the one that it looks like Sony, but it's like one word extra and it's like switched around?
Sanyo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sanyo's a classic. Or what about, you got Yamaha, man. It's like, what the fuck? They're making motorbikes? They're making keyboards? Yeah. What the fuck, man? Stay in your lane. That's what I always say. Fucking Yamaha.
That's what they sound like. They're like, no.
So listen, man, earlier in the show, you mentioned that you were not mad about stuff anymore. And I wanted to delve into that.
Oh,
Do you like to meditate? Did you put aside childish things when you became a man? How did you manage to put aside the hate?
Well, COVID was everyone got real out of control here, just in their brains, like just in their thoughts.
Well, you are in Texas, correct?
Yeah, but Austin's kind of not the thing you're about to say, but it's, and I had some health issues that you know about, and I'm not going to tell anyone else. And
spoilers. Yeah. No, this is like the audience is going to get all mad now that, it's like, what are they hinting towards, man? That sounds pretty cool.
I mean, I don't know. When you have like scary things in your life and you're like, oh shit, like I'm doing the wrong shit or I'm doing something wrong. And it's like, part of that is just like being really mad. And of course I'm fucking mad when I hear like shitty songs, but then I just try to like not think about it the rest of the year.
To be honest with you, I just get worked up when I record the show. It's like a character I do. Because in real life, I'm all really zen, but then I'm like, man, the audience likes it when I get mad. So then I come out here and I'm like, fucking Little Mermaid, whatever. But anyway.
Well, dude, whenever you've asked me to be a character, I do the same thing. Like, fucking, why don't you do what I say? When you do what I say, then you don't get dead.
I love that voice. It's just
and it seems to me that's the only voice I have for some reason when I do your stuff.
There is something funny about characters who are angry for no reason.
Exactly.
And there's no justification, and there's a weird escalation that happens. But I also like when it veers into more surreal nature, like just the idea of just someone who's angry, but then the more you find out, the more it's just, what? Like, what does this kid even mean? Like, that to me makes me laugh. Like, I like the idea of an audience that's confused by like, I don't know why that makes me laugh, but like when people like show weird stuff to their grandparents and like film their reactions, like there's something funny to me about that with like someone who's like, they're looking at it and they don't even see the same image that you do. They're so confused at like what they're looking at.
No, I love that because we get along about that type of thing because we both think just like randomly really angry is funny as hell. And I have a lot of friends like that. We just do that kind of voice too. It's like, hey, why don't you shut the hell up and let me fucking talk to you? It's like, whoa.
So what you're trying to say basically is that when you saw your mortality and it got things put into perspective, you decided you were no longer going to be angry about shitty music. You were just going to give beautiful art to the world.
Do it.
Your gift.
It's just something to do. It's just something to do, isn't it? Just something to just go home and just do what you like. But that's the calm way to say it. But yeah.
Well, that's good. Sorry, I dropped the ball there, man.
No, it's fine.
I'm not the best interviewer.
You can edit the ball.
Yeah, man, I edit my balls all the time. I don't know. What does that mean? Fuck.
That's fine.
It is fine. It feels good. So
See, I'm not mad. See, I'm just so good at that. I'm not even mad.
well, that's great. It would be a really strange case of misplaced anger if you were mad about other people editing their balls.
Now edit my balls.
I'm just editing my balls over here. What the fuck? I don't even know what that is.
I told you you're supposed to do it during daytime.
Ball editing is a daytime job. So we got Yecco, emecco here. You're texting with your buddy. He's all like, hey man, my job's boring. And you're all like, here's a funny word to tide you over. Like, what's going on there?
Pretty much. We do that to each other. Yeah. Yes. Never mind. I can't. I'll tell you after the show what all those words mean.
Tell me after the show what you do to each other.
No, what the words mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the other thing. Look, how about this? Let's listen to another song, and then we'll keep chatting. I want to listen to this track. It is called The Way It Feels.
Ooh, yeah.
So let's listen to that, and then we will come back, because that is what we do here. This is The Way It Feels by Yatte. And that was Yatte with the track The Way It Feels. We're here with Yatte, the man who sits at the center of the Yatte web as he shoots his fucking, what's the stuff? It's not called webbing, is it?
Wait, what the fuck?
Nylon? I'm going to portray you as a spider who's like reeling in his friends to be part of the Yatte.
Yeah. No, that's a great way to put it.
And then when they're no longer useful, he bites their heads off and then wraps them up.
They're dying, and then they ask me, they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this? And then they die.
What's this? It's like, man, I've been with you all the way since the Colorado Kind Band. And you're like, I don't need you no more. And then you bite their head off.
The point is, they just say, what is this? What is this? And then I can't really explain it because they're dead. So
hey, man, look, once people aren't useful anymore,
then what is
you got
this?
to get rid of them. Ain't going to fucking drop this shit.
And then I talk to them, I go, hey, what is this? And when I'm pointing at them, I'm like, what is this?
What kind of lattes do you like?
I don't know. You like coffee. I like coffee. Just, I don't know. Next.
You like a lot of cream in there?
I do.
Or you like a true like Austinite and you're like, oh, I need to have it with an almond milk because I'm
No, that's actually very smart. I don't even know how you even know that people are into that stuff. You're totally right. But no, I don't care. I'll just whatever. If I forgot to eat, then I'll put a lot of fucking something in it. Like cow things, oat things, doesn't matter. Whatever. I just do something different every day because coffee is the life of the vine. And the
life of the vine. Is this like? This feels like a fucking like Olive Garden thing. Just the life of the vine.
It's like from the fucking
Bible.
Yes.
Page 13.
Oh, damn, you know that?
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of pages. And
that's one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, 13. It's a real great page. There's some good stuff on there. Listen, when you say you're like good at like mimicry, was this a skill that you discovered? Like, did someone have to tell you one day, like, you know what, man, you actually kind of fucking sound like this when you do that? Or was it like, did it come from something else?
I don't know. Like, I think me and one of my brothers as well can do it in a different way, but he's really good at it too for certain things. But in school, I'm sure I started doing like something from Disney or something. Like as a kid, I was probably doing like an impression of something or Looney Tunes or some shit. But at school, I think I started doing it like for my friends' voices, and I thought a couple of friends would think it was really funny, and then some people don't want to know about that. Like that is not what I fucking sound like. Fucking stop doing it. Like, but everyone's laughing. Like, yeah, it sounds just like him, dude. I don't know. I started doing that, and then I played saxophone for a couple of years. When you're in school, sometimes you have to do a band or whatever, and I was doing that, and like I was able to do some shit quicker than other people, just not for like being smart, just like, oh, I can do that song a little earlier or whatever, like, or I can do like the way that they do it, a sound that, and they're just like, what? How are you doing that? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. That's just my thing. And I think I'm like, okay, I guess that's my like, oh wait, what do you call it in Mortal Kombat? What is the thing that you do with you kill them really crazily?
A fatality?
Yeah, that's my fatality. It's just I can make stuff that does like some things that exist already.
Well, I'm sure that was the best way to word that. Wait, so you have brothers? Do you have like a big family? What's going on?
2 brothers. One's kind of different from me, and the other one is like pretty close to what I'm like.
Where do you stand in the age? Are you the youngest, the oldest,
I'm the oldest.
The middle? Ooh, the oldest.
Yeah.
Old?
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Where's the beef? No, what was it? Where's the bag?
No, it's a wooga 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 big bag.
Big bag. Bass.
It is weird in hindsight. Like, why would you be playing a song and then have a man's voice come on saying bass? Like, it's just such a
bass.
I don't get it, but whatever.
Didn't Janet Jackson does that? I don't know if she was the first, but she just goes bass. From like 89 or whatever, 88, 89.
Hey, I remember when they showed her boob on TV.
Oh my God. So YouTube's great because there will be like a documentary that's like 35 minutes about like, I need to go find out if it turned out to be a thing that was supposed to be there, but not telling anyone. Because the malfunction, remember that? Dude, some of the people listening to this right now have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. But this was a huge fucking thing for a year.
Yeah, I still to this day, when I see the video, it's like, that can't be a mistake. How do you just brush your hand across someone and then just pull the shirt where the boob is?
And that's the lyrics too, right? Like, I want to take it off you. I forget what he says. Something like that, where he's like, I'm going to give you. I'm going to make you.
And I'm going to reveal your boob now.
Yeah, I'm going to make you naked in some sort or another.
I never actually listened to the song. I actually don't care about this at all. So
Wait,
like, it was like, it's a cultural reference that like, because like to me, you know, everyone's getting all worked up and I'm just like, but don't we all like seeing boobs? Like, why is everyone fucking upset about this? Like, I love boobs, you love boobs.
Yeah. Didn't she has like a thing on her too. It was like a piercing, right? It was like a little sun.
Yeah, because it's like a ray of sunshine whenever you see a jug.
Yeah, a jug. Speaking of us being old, I haven't heard the word jug in a really long time. Look at those jugs.
I think I saw on the Bandcamp in your credits, one of your brothers, does he do some of the artwork or something?
My brother's an architect, and I think he uses CAD or whatever it's called, where you do 3D stuff. That's like, it's like an old school thing. And he had like this guy that you could just put on anything, and it's like a 3D guy, just like a regular, just a good old guy. I think he just like sliced it. He does a lot of like math and shit on there. He just tried some cool shit. He showed me it, and then he gave it to me, and then I like messed with it on some other stuff. I don't know, like Photoshop and all these. I just like have so many layers to make it work and all this stuff. And so that was him doing that part. And I think I did stuff, whatever the background was. It might just be black, I forget. He did all the little guys, and he like lined those up or whatever, and then he sliced them and shit. You're like, you can see it, look, they're all sliced and shit.
Yeah, I think they have those 3D men in there for scale. Like if you're making like a 3D building design, so you need a little 3D men in there, so you know. Like,
that's right. And then I just did all this crazy color shit to it, and I'm like, what is this?
I'll tell you what this is.
All right,
we're gonna move ahead here. We're going forward in time to a little album called One Good Symphony.
Ooh.
All right, and we're gonna listen to some tracks from this, because I'd like to listen to this one. It's a song called Automatic.
Yeah.
So let's listen to that, and then we will continue chatting. This is Automatic by Yatte.
Go
And that was Yatte with the track Automatic from the album One Good Symphony. I'm here. I'm talking to Alex, and we're talking about Wonder Bitch. We're talking about lattes and brothers and playing the saxophone. Actually, that's a good question here. You just mentioned going on tour, or you just mentioned it, but you mentioned it a while ago. Going on tour with what, where, why, when, and how?
That was just a tour we went on with Wonder Bitch to go to LA and around a couple. Oh, there was some funny thing that happened was our van broke when we were in the fucking desert in like Tucson, I think. This is a very Yatte moment too, and in a way, I'll explain it. But we had to get the van fixed. So luckily, our drummer Butch, during that time, he works for Omni, which is like they do hotels around the world and shit. He was like what do you call it? Like they bring the bags up or whatever. But luckily, he has this card or something where we can just stay at like a fancy place, just pretty cheap or free. So like our van tour is pretty much fucked. The van needs to be fixed. So we're like, why don't we just go to this fancy place we were staying and just stay there for a couple of days? It was like in the desert. It was like a cool environment. There was a pool. Man, there might be a video of that like at the very bottom of Instagram or something. I'll find it. But oh no, it's like in the archive or something. So we would wake up, we would go play tennis like we're fucking like.
Are you trying to suggest that like we're not classy people, but today we pretended to be when we went to this?
Because he has this card or whatever, or he has a deal or something he can do. So like, well, we can't go play the show or the next two probably. So what should we do? It's like, let's play tennis in the desert. And we just like hung out in our hotel. We watched, this was the era when Rick and Morty was like, oh, they're on tonight. You know, like we played in the pool and no one was in this place, which was really neat. And we ended up having to rent 2 Jeeps and just like drove all the way to LA just to finally just do something.
Are you excited to hear the recast voices of Rick and Morty?
Is that happening? I don't care. Like I would, since I do lots of like voices and stuff and like mimicking and stuff, I kind of want to see how he does. But other than that, like, the show, I'm kind of tired of it, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm interested in that as well, actually. I think that show's fine. I just never like was as infatuated with it as other people. Like it was just one of those things that like I would see the occasional episode and be like, yeah, this is funny, but it didn't like grab me the same way. So I'm curious to hear the new voices just as it's interesting to me.
Yeah.
To replace somebody who is like the voice of the show.
Yeah. You know what happened today was fucking Mario. So we'll see there too.
Okay, this is a whole different thing here. So, I mean, you're referring, of course, to Charles Martinet,
right?
No longer being the voice of Mario in the games. But this is a weird one because, like, I love Nintendo games and I play all the Mario games and stuff. And when people were sort of upset that he wasn't going to be the voice in the movie,
yeah,
was sort of weird to me because I'm like, number one, I wouldn't want to watch a movie that sounded like that the whole film because Mario's voice is annoying. It's just that you only ever hear him say like woohoo and whatever.
Once upon a time,
but
I was a place, but I was in New York.
Yeah, skip.
To me, I've already seen Mario portrayed by several different actors with different voices.
True.
And so this idea that there's this generation that is so upset that like that's what Mario sounds. I'm like, okay, first of all, like the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which was fucking Lou Albano or whatever, who was Mario in the live action segment, and he had a particular voice. Then there was the voice in the cartoon show, and
I like that.
Then there's the movie with fucking Bob Hoskins.
Oh yeah.
So to me, in my lifetime, Mario didn't even start talking in the games until Mario 64. And that was like the first time he ever had a voice, and it was really like cartoon, but it was funny. Like I remember laughing. Like I liked the he falls asleep in Mario 64 and he dreams about spaghetti.
Yeah.
And like that's one of his. That was always my favorite lines. Just the spaghetti, mamma mia. And he snores like I was. It to me is so funny. But
I hope nobody's mad at this voice.
And so when they were bitching about Chris Pratt, I'm like, who cares? Like he's had different voices. Like and they've gone. There's been more gruff, like he was more gruff in those old cartoons.
Yeah.
And then his voice in the games was so high-pitched and silly. I assumed wrongly, because I guess what they were going to do was have him get the superstar and then be played by Charles Martinet while he was high. Like, so that was the joke, is like, once he got the invincibility star, his voice would go high-pitched and he'd sound like the game Mario. But they did not do that. I think Charles Martinet just played some, like, wacky guy.
Yeah, it was his like, uncle or something.
Yeah, so, like, I don't care if they, like, recast it in the game, like, and people act like that's a big deal. Like, so you're just gonna hire another person to say, what? woo, you know, like who gives a fuck who plays that?
Yeah.
You know, Charles Martinet seems like a nice guy and stuff, but like it's not important. I mean, it's not like when everyone plays Mario games from like the 80s to now that the most important thing was the fucking voice. It's like, what? Like it's the gameplay. Like people, that's what people like. They don't give a fuck what he sounds like.
Man, it would have been awesome if it was Bob Costas. Well, he's dead. Or
Really, Bob Costas did it.
I know he's dead, but man, that would have been awesome if they kept him in. I love the 90s movie. It's so awesome.
Yeah, that fucking 90s movie, man.
Yeah, I love it.
I saw that in the theater.
Yes.
And I remember, I think I liked it. I miss this. Remember being a kid and like, if you wanted to like something, you just would?
Yeah.
That's what the Mario Brothers movie was. I remember I came back
especially
and I was like,
if your brother liked it or something.
yeah, it's like, I liked it because I wanted to like it. I think I've said this like several times on this show, but like for me, I knew I became a man when Mortal Kombat Annihilation came out.
Is it bad?
Because it's so bad. It's horrible. And that was the one where even being a big Mortal Kombat fan, seeing it in the theater, I was in high school at the time, so I was going through like my cynical phase.
Right.
But that was like the first time where I was like, oh, not only does this suck, I hate this. I went in with positive expectations and the movie was so bad, it just blew that all away.
Everyone's just a bunch of fucking consumers, man.
Yeah.
Like, I can see right through it.
God, I wish that was the problem with that film. It was just, I didn't like it because I'm edgy and not because this movie is horrible.
Oh, you're talking about the movie. I thought you were talking about the game.
That's actually a really interesting point because around that time, then like Mortal Kombat 4 came out, and that is probably the worst one in the series, but at the time I liked it because I like Mortal Kombat, and so I liked the game, but the movie was terrible.
I liked the first movie. That was a very 90s movie for exactly people my age. That was exactly for that.
I love the first movie. I don't care. I mean, like, it is corny, but I'll say this. I said that when I was talking to fucking Griff on last week's episode, is Mortal Kombat, the first movie, has one of the best openings to a movie, I think, of all time. Like, but I'm not being ironic. There's very few movies that pump you up from the first second of a film. And Mortal Kombat literally starts with a guy screaming Mortal Kombat, and then it just cuts to this fucking badass techno song while fire shoots through the Mortal Kombat logo. And literally, like, you hear the Mortal Kombat scream as the fucking New Line symbol, like, fucking plays. There's very few movies that start like, whoa, like, we're starting at fucking 100. Like, it just instantly, like, fucking boom.
And that song ended up being, it not only meant the game, for the video game, it also meant the locker room for football, or like just when you're a kid, like it became the sports song as well, like, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, it's a fucking kick-ass song, man. So like, the only other movie that ever made me feel that way was like Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, because when that movie started, they go right into like an action sequence and fucking Gandalf fighting the Balrog, and that happens like right at the start of the movie, and you're right in a fucking action scene with a wizard and a fiery dragon.
Right into the chorus.
And it's like, what a fucking wicked way to start a movie. That's why the third movie always was a bit of a downer for me. It's still a good movie, but it starts with this weird, dreamy sequence of fucking Andy Serkis strangling his buddy on a boat, and you're just like, this is weird. Like, this last movie started so much cooler than this one. Like, you know, anyway, let's listen to another song, and then maybe we can start to slowly wind down here, because we've been actually like chatting for a while. I would like to listen to the titular One Good Symphony track.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's listen to this. This is One Good Symphony by Yatte.
Don't you look at me in this state. You know I'm gonna get better. Tell my mama I'll be back when I pull myself around. For
And that was Yatte with the track One Good Symphony from the album One Good Symphony from October 2022. And I'm here right now with Yatte, a.k.a. Alex. We've been chatting today about a whole bunch of stuff, man. Going to fucking Tucson. He's got a buddy who's a bellhop called Butch who got them into some fucking hotel or some shit, and they played tennis. And
very nice to remember that.
Yeah.
Very nice to remember that. Thank you.
Yeah, it was good times, man. He's a wonderkind on the saxophone.
I was.
And he likes...
what is this?
I don't know. Okay, wait, so Wonder Bitch had enough of a following that you could fucking travel and play shows?
A little bit. It was our first try, and then we at the van, we were just like, oh, damn it, this is hard.
So is there potential in the future for a Yatte live show?
There is. I'm not going to tell anyone anymore about that.
Okay, I'm just asking about the potential, bro. I'm just like, hey, man, when I see potential, I need to maximize it, all right?
Yeah, there's potential. Yes, there's potential.
Yeah.
Potential. I can't say the word, but there is a lot of it.
That's what I like to hear, man. Potential.
Yeah.
Gotta fucking harness that potential and start an Instagram business where you get like 2 cents on every fucking Amazon referral or whatever.
Okay.
Passive income, it's called. You sit at home and you just let the passive income roll in.
Just come into your lap, and then you don't know what to do after that because what do you go get? You get some bagels or what? What's next?
I always get bagels after I come into my lap. So look, man, we've been chatting for a while here. Is there something we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about where you're like, hey man, we're going to record today, and Andy keeps sidetracking this thing talking about Mortal Kombat.
I like
when
that.
I want to talk about my favorite thing.
I'm always making people, they're like, hey, is there more Yatte stuff? And I'm like, yes. I don't stop. It's crack, and I can't stop making stuff, so there'll be a lot. If you're my homies or my fans and you're like, is he still doing that? I'm like, yep, every fucking day, for whatever reason. I keep doing it, so it's happening. There will be more.
You know, I always start the show by playing a song before I go to the interview, and so for this episode, I did play the track Candle, which came out in June.
Yes.
So if anyone is confused as to whether or not you're making new music after literally just putting out a song...
Well, it's the only reason I say that is because that song I made that song in 2020. That was the beginning of COVID. But the problem is, can you believe? No, that was part of a, what do you call that? It was a compilation, and it was like a COVID thing, like for the artists. Like, throw a song on, we'll we'll give everyone $1 or whatever, or if someone throws $1. Anyway, it was a big thing, and then I saw that it disappeared. But it was at the very bottom of my shit, like at the bottom on Spotify, that no one was even noticing it was there. So I fixed it up and made it sound nicer and mastered it again. Then I'm like, this would be a good time. I'm not releasing anything quite yet, so might as well just do this. So yeah, there it is. So that's me you're listening to. That's me like 4 years ago type of person.
Right, but then remastered now. You George Lucas'd this thing.
Yeah, I did, but I don't think anyone ever really listened to it, so...
Well, they did at the start of this interview.
Yeah. No, I meant like the first version that's been out. That was the very bottom on Spotify. Only a few people have listened to it because no one goes down unless they're really into it. That's when you go down.
Yeah, you keep saying all these things that are also sexual innuendos.
You just can't wait. You can't stop. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, that's cool.
Blow it out your ass. So I just realized that my EQ buttons, when I go all the way to the top, it sounds like it's from an old video game that sounds like shit.
Well, it sounded good to me.
Blow it out your ass.
I don't know why it's like, I'm like a little kid sometimes. There's like certain tricks people can do with me that like just make me laugh. Like just like,
yeah, that's the idea.
Anyway. So look, man, listen, it's been fun getting to know Alex Chod.
Yatte.
It's all good stuff, man. I mean, like the production of all these things is nice. I like that it's sort of feel good music, you know? It's yep. It's ridiculous that I've hosted a show for over 10 years that's a music program, and I just do not know how to talk about music at all.
That's the Yatte experience. Or is it like down here, like, that's the Yatte? Can you tell that I'm changing it? Like, it actually is
I like the first one. The second one just sounds like you're dying.
Oh, okay. Well, no, there's this, and then there's this. Oh, no, that's, yeah. But then there's also this one, but that sounds like I'm in another room.
That just sounds like bad microphone. The first one's the
Okay.
best because it has the effect on it.
Do you like Yatte? That's all right. It's all right. The Yatte experience. Fuck, get out of here. If you're one of those people who just said, I don't know.
Maybe that's what you should call it. Maybe that would make you feel better.
Experience. Oh, Yatte
If you call it
experience.
the Yatte experience, because then it implies that there's other aspects, other people.
I don't know.
It's the Yatte experience, man.
I actually thought about that, but it was like, then I'm just going to go to sleep.
I know that feeling all too well. That's something I experience every day. It's just like, I thought about it and I was like, I'll just go to sleep.
Then it'll be another day and I'll forget the whole thing. It's great. It'll be great.
Well, listen, man, all right? You're a cool guy. You have fun down there in Austin.
Yeah.
Where it's real hot. You're drinking lattes.
Yep.
You got friends. That's nice. You got friends that come
Yeah,
over
I
and
go-
play music with you. That's cool.
Yeah, man. It's pretty cool, man.
Oh, by the way, I'm really bad at ending shows, just so we're clear. This is my weak point is like the goodbye portion.
You got to do the whole like, all right, good night, everybody. And then some like,
And that was Yatte!
you just got to say good night, no matter whenever they listen to it. All right, good night, everybody. And then and you're like, I'm so sorry for that. That is,
That's actually not a bad idea.
and then cut.
But yeah, man, look, we look forward to hearing more Yatte in the future.
Yeah.
We'll play it on the show.
Thanks, everybody.
And we'll probably record some more silly commercial things. I haven't actually,
Yep.
I haven't done any fake commercials in several months, and so you know what it is? Is that the one that I've been working on, like the movie trailer one?
Yeah, the big one.
Since it involved a whole bunch of different voice actors, sometimes I can't move forward on another project until this other
It's
thing
done.
is finished.
Yeah, I feel that.
And since that one was complicated and required lots of different voice actors, it's just been sitting there, and I don't have the drive to do the other ones because I'm like, I got to do that one first though, because it's next in line, you know? It's like I can't fathom just kind of going around it and doing something else in the meantime.
Oh man, there is something I should, but no one knows that. I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but never mind. We'll do it another time. I don't know. Sorry, you were talking, and then I just started realizing, like, should I talk about this? It's like I can't, not quite yet.
The point is, you got some secret shit on the way,
Yeah.
secret projects.
Yeah.
Go work on the thing and have a lovely day. I am saying goodbye now.
Yeah, this is it. That's the end.
Do you have anything you want to say before I hang up on you?
Nah, just that's it.
All right,
Thanks.
man.
Thanks, I guess.
All right, take care, dude.
Okay, everybody. Goodbye.
And that was my conversation with Yatte. I hope you're all having a lovely day. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun chatting with him. I'm going to try and get the gang back together here for another Beyond Synth roundtable, so hopefully we'll get to that next week, but we'll see. And I hope you all have a lovely day and a lovely weekend and week. Hope you're playing all these cool games. Maybe you're already playing Starfield and you're one of those people who are like, man, this is fucking disappointing. Maybe that's me right now. Who knows? The point is, you're all cool, and if you enjoy the show, don't forget to support it if you want to, and tune in next time to Beyond Synth, the best synthwave chat show there is.
Beyond Synth Radio is produced by Andy Last. Check the show notes for more information on the musicians featured on the show. Beyond Synth is made possible by listeners like you. Consider supporting Beyond Synth at patreon.com/BeyondSynth. Thanks for listening.